Greetings, welcome, and thank you for clicking. I'm Christian of Standing Stones Healing Company, supporting your journey with healing experiences, coaching, and encouragement for life's changes, challenges, and transitions. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Ask the Stones, offering spiritual guidance and encouragement for life's challenging questions. Welcome to this episode of Ask the Stones. Thank you. This episode's question comes from Meghan. Meghan writes, "Can you talk about manifestation? I like learning about the law of attraction and wonder what you think." Well, Meghan, thank you so much for this question. This is a really nice topic to discuss. And so I really appreciate your question and the opportunity to discuss it. So thank you, Meghan. When it comes to manifestation and the law of attraction, I think about this in a couple of ways, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience with, quote, manifesting and what that means to me and the way that I think about it and like to approach it. And I'm also going to give what I feel are some tips for manifesting or the law of attraction. And so if you stick around and listen, a little bit later I will share with you my top tips, including what I believe is the number one tip for successfully manifesting. So Meghan, thank you so much. When we hear the words manifestation, that means different things to different people. So I just want to make sure to clarify what I mean and what I'm talking about and what Meghan, I assume Meghan, is getting at here. So the law of attraction is, of course, the idea that like attracts like, and that we can bring things to us into our lives that we want to bring into our lives, which I absolutely, of course, agree with. I'll say more about that. But manifestation is also along those lines. Actually, if you think about it, this idea of manifestation often kind of falls into this big category, and the law of attraction kind of falls into that category. So it's like manifestation is this big idea, and law of attraction is a part of that big idea of manifestation. And so law of attraction, that idea of like attracts like, and that we can attract things into our lives. And manifestation, this idea that we can manifest our desires, that we can create them. So I do agree with these things as something that we can do for sure. I, however, maybe don't think of manifestation or the law of attraction in the same way that others might. So for me, the way that I think about the law of attraction is really kind of in terms of like magnets. So you have a magnet and you want to draw something to that magnet. Well, with magnets, of course, opposites attract. But with the law of attraction, the idea is that like attracts like. So for me, yes, I think that actually this is quite true in our lives. And it's quite true just in the sense of if you look for something, you are going to find it. So if you know what you're looking for, and if you look for it, then you will find it, versus if you don't know what you're looking for, or if you're not looking for it, then you probably won't find it, or at least the chances are less that you will find it. Okay, so what I mean is that from my view of the law of attraction, we bring into our lives the things that we focus on. And we don't even maybe necessarily, quote, bring them into our lives so much as we recognize them more easily. So if I, for instance, am thinking that I would really like to I'd really like to own a certain book, and I'm thinking about that book a lot, and I'm searching for that book. I am browsing on Amazon for it, and I am going to the bookstores for it. I'm actively searching for this book. I want this book, and I know that this is something I'm interested in. So then when a friend happens to say, hey, would you like to borrow my copy of X book? Oh, we'll say The Secret. More about that in a minute. Would you like to borrow my copy of The Secret? What am I going to think? Oh, yes, I have manifested The Secret. Here it is. Well, maybe the friend would have offered you the copy of The Secret anyway, but because you were on the lookout for it, then it's like, aha, yes, here it is. So you've been on the lookout for something, and then when you find it, you are going to notice when you see it because you've been looking for it. So that it is so much easier to see things that we are looking for and to recognize them when we find them. So I really believe that the law of attraction has very much, as a big part of it, this idea that seek and ye shall find. You know, you're gonna notice the things that are on your mind. You are going to notice the things that you are thinking about. I also think that this works in a negative way too. So if I am thinking all of the time about how much someone who says maybe a certain word really bothers me. Oh, I don't like the word moist. Isn't that like supposed to be like the number one least liked word or something? I don't know. I don't have a problem with the word moist, but let's just say that I don't like the word moist. And I'm thinking, oh, that word moist, I can't stand that word moist. And I'm putting energy into thinking about how much I don't like the word moist. Every time I hear the word moist, it's going to annoy me, and I'm going to hear it a lot because I'm attuned. I'm listening for it. So when you are listening for things, you are going to more easily hear them. So every time I hear the word moist, oh man, there's that word again. Oh, everyone always says moist, and I hate that word. Yes, so that also can be called, quote, the law of attraction. Now, that's one way that I think the law of attraction really works in our lives, that we are more attuned to things that we pick up on, and that we pick up on things because we are attuned to them. You know, if I think that I'm always lucky, well, then I'm going to find reasons why I'm lucky. We're always looking for confirmation for our beliefs. And so if I believe that everyone always says the word moist and I can't stand it, I'm going to hear people say moist all of the time. And if I believe that I am really lucky and that I am always having good luck, which actually, by the way, I do. I actually am a really lucky person. So then I'm going to find reasons to support that in my experience. And I'm going to say, oh yes, of course this happened because I'm lucky. Oh yes, of course I won that contest. I'm lucky. Oh yes, of course things turned out for me that way. I'm lucky. And so we're going to be looking at situations from that lens of luckiness. It's like we are wearing lucky glasses, or the glasses through which we see luck. And so we're going to be picking out luck in all of our experiences. So this is a big, big part, in my estimation, of the law of attraction. When you have things in your mind and you are searching for them, you are more likely to find them and to see them and to recognize them when they do show up. Yes, so that is not to say that the law of attraction maybe doesn't have some kind of woo-woo about it. because I do believe that this world is magical and mystical and just incredible beyond our understanding. And so while I do believe that the law of attraction and manifestation does really have as a big component this idea of seek and ye shall find, I don't think that that's all there is to it, Megan. I think that there is more to it than that. And I think that it also is in terms of our creation and the ways in which we create our own experience, so that it's not just a viewing of it, a seeing of it, a recognizing that I am lucky and finding reasons why I'm lucky because I believe I'm lucky. So confirming those beliefs. I also believe it has to do with the creation of those beliefs. And so if I believe that I am lucky, the chances are great that I'm not only going to recognize my experiences as being lucky, but that I am also going to do things to help create lucky experiences, so that I am maybe going to have a cheerful attitude, which I don't know about you, but typically when you interact with people, they like interacting with a cheerful person a little bit more than with someone who is not nice, rude, unkind, impolite, etc. And so by virtue of being and feeling like a lucky person, or believing that I'm a lucky person, I'm going to create luck for myself. I'm going to create experiences that give me the opportunity to confirm my luck. So if I am walking down the street, I'm feeling happy-go-lucky, and I bump into someone, I'm going to have a pleasant conversation with them. Maybe they're going to tell me about, I'm just reading this great book called The Secret, and I'm done with it. Actually, would you like to have it? Well, yes, I would love to have that book. I was just thinking about it. How lucky. And so you get the book. Whereas if you were going through life not as a happy kind of person who would feel lucky, and you saw that person on the street and were rude to them, that person's probably not going to feel compelled to give you their book, The Secret. So, wonderful. Those are some of my thoughts on the law of attraction. I believe that we see things that we expect to see, and that we create our experiences as well. This also, of course, works in a negative way. If I believe that I am someone who doesn't have good luck, if I believe that I am unlucky, then I do believe that I'm going to find reasons that support my belief, reasons why I am unlucky. This, by the way, is one of the reasons why what we say to ourselves and how we talk about ourselves and our experiences is so important, because we actually create our experience with our words. And that might be kind of hard to believe. Like, Christian, if I say I'm unlucky, am I really, you believe I'm going to be unlucky? Yes, in the sense, of course, that, as I mentioned, we do create our experiences, or we do look for reasons to support our experiences, but also in that we do create them. And how do we create our experiences? They start with words. Actually, they start with thoughts and the things that we say to ourselves and about ourselves. So thoughts, and then thoughts turn into words, and words turn into actions. And so when we are using words for ourselves, like, I am unlucky, I can't do anything right, no one likes me, I just am no good at fill in the blank, then we are going to act in ways that reinforce that belief. It's that self-fulfilling prophecy idea. You know, we like to be right. People like to be right. This is a huge desire for people. We, and I mean people as a whole, every single one of us, including myself, like to be right. And so we're going to look for reasons in our experience why we are right. And if we feel that we are unlucky, if we feel that we're not good at something, then we are going to look for reasons why, yes, that is correct. Yes, I am right. Yes, I thought so. Yes, I told you so. So be on the lookout for that, everyone. We all can fall prey to this and are all challenged by it. So watch the ways in which you talk about and to yourself, because those things will, if you keep saying them, come to pass. And then it's just a reinforcing kind of a thing. Oh, I'm always unlucky, so then things happen where I'm unlucky, and then I feel more unlucky, and I tell myself I'm unlucky, and it's just a big cycle that goes on and on and on. So, wow, manifestation. Thank you, Meghan. I'm just going on and on and on about manifestation and the law of attraction. So that does bring me to The Secret, the book The Secret. Of course, it's like one of the biggest books on the law of attraction. It is not the only book on the law of attraction. Of course, there's the Master Key System. There's the Science of Getting Rich. There are all of these books that are called New Thought books. Quote, New Thought. It's actually a type of book. And New Thought started back in the early-ish 1900s, so the 1918s, the 1920s. This was a time when people like Wallace Wattles, Napoleon Hill, Florence Scovel Shinn were writing about this idea of the law of attraction and this idea of bringing things into our lives. So where did The Secret come from? How did The Secret get started? Actually, there is a whole genre of books called New Thought that, since they're so old by now, they are in the public domain, and you can find those books for free online, ebooks for free. So definitely check them out. Just Google New Thought books and you will find all kinds of books. I do actually recommend, one of my favorites is The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. And this is a nice little book that is just at the very least fun to read, and she has some great affirmations in it too. She was really big on affirmations and has some really great ones. But there are so many New Thought books. But a lot of them, most of them, they all really have to do with this idea of the law of attraction. And so The Secret got started really rooted in that idea. Phew. Well, The Secret now we have that came out, well, it's been quite a few years now. Gosh, I want to say maybe 2006 or 7, around there. And that book is all about manifestation, bringing things into our lives and creating in our lives. I think one of the things that book doesn't really explain. So yes, it goes into The Secret, which is the law of attraction. In case, I'm sorry if I have just divulged the secret, but it is about drawing those things into our lives. But I think one of the things that The Secret really misses out on in its book is the part about doing. So we really, in order to really manifest and fulfill our desires and create, also need to be doing. You know, the idea is that we can create a vision board, which is absolutely great to do. I do recommend it. We can have images in front of our eyes. We can put pictures on our refrigerators and spend time meditating and visualizing. Yes, yes, and yes. These are all great things to do. Visualizing actually has been used by athletes to great effect. And so it's not just a law of attraction technique. But this is a wonderful thing to do, and I do highly recommend it. And I also want to say that it's not all there is to manifestation. It's not all there is to bringing things into your life. it's also about taking action. So, a big part of manifesting is taking action. Sometimes we have this idea, Meghan, that we can just create a vision board and sit back and just stare at the vision board and meditate on it, and that's all we need to do. And sure, that might have an effect and impact. That might be positive, because just remember, when you see things and you are looking for them, you are more likely to find them as you experience your world and move in it. So yes, that is an important part. But then taking action is important. So taking action to move you toward that vision is important. It's not just about visualizing. It's not just about creating the vision board. It's about taking action on that vision. So if you know that you want to bring the book, The Secret, into your life, and you are just putting it on your vision board, the chances are not as great that you are going to bring that book into your life as they are if you actually do things like search for a good deal online, or go to the library, or talk to people about your desire to have this book. Those actions are going to greatly increase your chances of, voila, manifesting the secret and attracting it into your life. So make sure that you are taking action on your visions, on the things that you desire to bring into your life and manifest. So let me tell you about some of my manifestation experiences. I mean, if you're interested in listening. You may not be interested in listening, but here I go. Thank you for the opportunity. When I was backpacking through Europe in 2013, I spent 4 months backpacking through Europe. It was an amazing experience. I actually did not have a single electronic device with me during that time. So I went from Italy, where I had been teaching English. After teaching English, I set off from Italy and I went through Europe, hopped on a plane in Switzerland, flew over to London, and then went straight across England into Wales and over to Ireland, and then flew home from Ireland. And so this 4-month adventure was quite an adventure. I did not have a single electronic device, so no phone, no computer, no tablet, nothing. And I did not plan it beforehand. So I lived very much during that experience in the moment, very much day by day, very much really almost at the core of experience. I don't know that I want to say that. That sounds a little grandiose. But what I'm really saying is that, life was pared down to its bare essentials. Everything that I could carry on my back was all that I had. And that was all I had for 4 months. And so I had the bare essentials. As a matter of fact, when I was in my hostel the night before my flight in Ireland, there was a young Chinese man he was an exchange student studying in Ireland, and he had I was in Killarney for the weekend, and we were chatting, and I had all of my stuff lying out on the floor. And we were talking. I was telling him how I had just completed a 4-month trip and was packing things into my backpack one final time. And he looked at the stuff and he said, "That's all you've had for 4 months?" And I looked at it and I said, "Yeah, wow. That's all I've had for 4 months." It didn't look like a whole lot then, although sometimes it really felt like a lot on my back. But so I really, in that experience, lived with the bare essentials of life. And so that living with the bare essentials and on a day by day, I didn't know what city I might be in a few days or even the next day. And I would maybe just show up in a town with no hostel reservations, just hoping that there was space, there was a bed that I could sleep on. So it very much was a day-to-day experience. And I found during this trip, Meghan, that I was able to, quote, manifest things in a way that I had not done before and maybe have not done since. So I'll give you a couple for instances. I had this idea all throughout my trip that I really wanted to find money on the ground and that I was going to find money. And I'm like, I know I'm going to find money. I am going to find money on the ground. So throughout my whole trip, what did I do? Every time I was walking, I was looking on the ground. I was looking to and fro, left and right, looking for money. Don't you know, on one of the last days of my trip in Ireland, I'm walking along the road and I look down. Remember, I'm looking for the money. I look down, and what is sitting in the grass straight up, as though it was just waiting there for me to pick it up, was a 10-euro bill. Just sitting right there, ready for me to grab it. And I said, aha, I knew I was going to find money. Well, yeah, I was looking for money, and probably after 4 months of walking all kinds of back roads and trails, I was probably eventually going to find money because I was looking for it. But yes, I found that money. And do you know, I never spent that money. I tucked that into my journal, and it is still in that journal tucked away because that was very meaningful for me. So that was one thing that I, quote, manifested on that trip. Another thing I manifested was I was staying at a place in Germany, and they had a fancy coffee maker, and I thought, oh, I would love to have a fancy cup of coffee. And the very next morning that I was thinking, I'd love to have a fancy cup of coffee from that machine, I come downstairs for breakfast, and the woman who was working at the facility and had made coffee, she was practicing, and I came down and she said, hey, I'm practicing and I just made an extra latte. Do you want it? Yeah, of course. Yes, I just manifested the cup of coffee. Yes. So I was pretty excited about that. Those are a couple of examples of times when I have manifested things or attracted them to me through the law of attraction, or however you like to conceive of it, Meghan. And some might say that's magical and mystical. Sure, yeah, I do too. I mean, remember, I kept the 10-euro bill. I haven't spent it. I still have it. And some might say, well, yeah, Christian, you are going to find the 10 bill anyway, and hey, this lady, it's just coincidence that you were thinking about the coffee and the very next day there's the coffee. Yep, sure thing. Whatever you want to call it, I call it pretty awesome. So it was awesome. But I did find that in that experience, living so close to the bare essentials of life and living on a day-to-day basis, I found just that way of living to be, in a sense, a lot more magical and a lot more exciting and even scary too. I won't lie. It was scary at times, but things really fell into place for me. And I think things always really fell into place for me on that whole trip, in part because of that law of attraction and manifesting. Now, a couple more things I want to say about the law of attraction. I do believe that as we raise our vibration, we do bring into our lives things of higher vibration. So we do bring into our existence those things that resonate and vibrate at that level. So as a matter of fact, on that same trip, I went to an ancient stone monument in Ireland that I absolutely love, the Pulnabrone Dolmen. and which is an ancient grave. It is a standing stone structure. You'll see it. It's on all of my materials from a photo that I took. And that structure, I went and I sat there staring at this structure on this trip all alone, no one else around. And I said, why do I keep coming back to this spot? That was the third year in a row that I had been to that spot. And I said, why do I keep coming back to this spot? And I received a message from the dolmen, and it said to me that it wasn't just me attracting it. So I had thought, oh, I'm attracting this into my life. I'm bringing this into my life. I'm attracting it. And it said to me, it's not just you attracting me, it's me attracting you. We are vibrating at the same frequency. You are vibrating at my frequency. And I was like, just amazed and astonished. Even to talk about it now, I feel like I could tear up. And it was quite the experience. And so I do believe that as you raise your vibration, as we all raise our vibration, we bring higher vibrating things into our lives. And those things that do not vibrate at the same frequency fall away. And so with that law of attraction, like attracts like, vibrationally, Meghan, as you raise your vibration, you are going to bring into your life those higher vibrating things. Now, my number one tip for the law of attraction and manifestation is this raising of your frequency, is, that idea, yes, of living life in its core, at its core, stripped down in a magical kind of a way, living, day to day. Yes, that is an amazing way to manifest. That is a quick, surefire way, I believe, to manifest things in your life, and raising your vibration along with that. But my number one way for raising your vibration, and my number one way to manifest and bring things into your life, is through gratitude. That is my number one recommendation, Meghan, is that if you are interested in manifesting things, if you are interested in the law of attraction, number one, I recommend practicing gratitude, because it is the quickest way to raise your vibration. It is the quickest way to change your mindset. It is the quickest way to shift your experience. And so I recommend gratitude for everything. Absolutely 100%. I recommend it for increasing your spirituality and experiencing a greater level of spirituality in your own life, a greater depth of awareness, meaning, and connection, and also for manifestation, for bringing things into your life that you want. So when you focus on the things that you have and give thanks for the things that you have, it is so much easier for you to give thanks and praise for the things that come into your life, the things that you attract. And so, Meghan, my number one recommendation for you for the law of attraction and manifestation is gratitude, giving thanks for what we have. And I know The Secret talks about it, giving thanks for the things that we have yet to have and the things that we want to bring into our lives. So gratitude, gratitude, gratitude is really my biggest feeling about manifestation and the law of attraction. Wow, there is so much more to say about this topic. In case you couldn't tell, I could keep talking about it, but I am going to end there, except that I am right now going to send some Reiki, Meghan, to your desires for manifestation and for the law of attraction working in your life. And I am going to send Reiki to all of us listening. that we bring into our life, our desires, and what we'd like to manifest. One more thing, one more thing I do want to say about this is that for me, manifestation many times has felt a little dissonant to me, in that oftentimes it centers on bringing material things into our lives, bringing the car or the book or the clothes or the house. It focuses on bringing material things into our lives. And I do believe that a higher use of manifestation and the law of attraction is to bring more kindness, more compassion, more love, more gratitude into our lives, but to also be sending them out. So it's not just about bringing material things into your life. It's about sending out love, kindness, respect, gratitude, compassion, and all of those very, very important things. Well, really, the things that life is all about. Life is not all about manifesting your brand new car. Life is about manifesting and creating love, kindness, respect, gratitude, compassion, all of those amazing things. So thank you, Meghan. I welcome you to close your eyes. I welcome you to sit back, relax. If you so wish, the Reiki will come to you for the manifestation of your desires, for bringing them into your life. Remember to have clear and kind intentions and desires, and making sure that the things we want to bring into our lives are vibrating at a higher frequency. And if you do not want Reiki to go to that for yourself, that's okay. It won't. So thank you. Thank you. And so, Meghan, I'm going to pull a card for you. I'm going to pull an Archangel card. And let's see what the angels might have to say about manifestation. What they might say about this topic. Whoops, you heard that maybe? It just jumped right out. Thank you, Archangel Gabriel. Creative writing. Yeah, great message. Thank you, angels. Make time to write down your thoughts in a journal or pen an article or book. Yes, excellent advice from the angels. Thank you, angels. Using writing is actually a powerful way to help us manifest. So writing down your desires, writing down your dreams, thinking things out on the page is a wonderful way to assist in your manifestation. As a matter of fact, I do journal every day, and I've been journaling for a long, long time. 18 years now, 20 years now, I've been journaling. And I can definitely say from experience that this is a very rewarding life practice, and that it will help you to get clear on your desires and help you to manifest. That is actually one more tip for manifestation. See, sorry, I told you so much to say, is clarity. knowing what it is that you want. And so often when we don't have success with manifestation, it does have to do with our changing desires. We say, oh, I want this car in my life, and we think about the car, and we create the vision board on the car, and we search for the car, and we dream about the car, and we go on with the car for a couple of months, and then we're like, I don't know that I really want that car so much anymore. And so we stop trying to manifest the car. We stop trying to bring it into our life, and the car doesn't come into our life. And that is oftentimes the biggest challenge with manifestation. And the law of attraction is sticking with it. And just like my $10 that I found on the side of the road in Ireland, if you stick with things long enough, eventually, you will have them in your life, and you will attract them to you. So this recommendation from the angels, Meghan, to do some writing on your desires is a wonderful, wonderful idea. Thank you, angels. And thank you, Meghan, for this question. It turned into quite a long answer, but I appreciate you listening. I appreciate your question so much. There is so much to say. Please, if you have thoughts on manifestation or the law of attraction or whatever you call it, please leave them in the comments. Please don't hesitate to give your tips to Meghan, maybe resources that you enjoy for the law of attraction, or if you go off and read a New Thought book, feel free to comment on it and tell us which book and what you think and even where to find it. So thank you so much. Again, I am Christian of Standing Stones Healing Company, supporting your journey with healing experiences, coaching, and encouragement for life's changes, challenges, and transitions. Thank you, and best wishes for your journey. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Ask the Stones. If you have a question for Ask the Stones, please send me an email at christian@standingstoneshealing.com or connect with me on Facebook at Standing Stones Healing. Thank you, and best wishes for your journey.